I transmigrated into a wish-fulfillment web novel to become the ultimate most overpowered villain. Not only does my family possess a million-year-old business empire, but I also have 5 fiercely protective, insanely powerful older sisters. Yet, somehow, the original owner of this body was an absolute loser, a massive simp who only knew how to worship the ground the female lead walked on. Who would have thought that after 3 years of ultimate simping, it only took the female lead 2.5 minutes to get cozy with the protagonist? In the original plot, she was led straight to a hotel by him, giving up her time just like that. Afterward, she even had the audacity to publicly declare that I couldn't give her what she truly wanted. The absolute nerve. Standing on the campus stadium right now, having just sorted through these newfound memories, my brain basically short-circuited. My family is the #1 powerhouse in the Dragon Nation. Plus, I have 5 ridiculously influential sisters who love their little brother to bits. I couldn't help but think to myself, bro, you have 5 gorgeous sisters at home. Why the heck were you stuck in the mud over Lily Vance? Sure, she's pretty, but not ruin your life pretty. Besides, I know for a fact that in the original story, not only were the 5 sisters great to the original owner, but there was also a villainess, Scarlet Sterling, who was secretly head over heels in love with him. After accepting the reality of my transmigration, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. In my past life, I was a corporate wage slave. It took me half my life just to afford a car, a house, and a girlfriend. And just because I was distracted by a work call, I got yeeted into the afterlife by a concrete mixer, sending my soul straight here. I quickly mapped out my future master plan. Stay far, far away from the brain-dead lead in the Gary Stu Protagonist, quietly build my wealth, and enjoy life to the fullest with the villainous, Scarlet. From a bottom-tier societal worker, I had suddenly spawned right at the finish line in Rome. But first things first, I had to deal with the Lily Vance problem. Getting my bearings, I stood on the very stage the original owner had set up to confess his love to Lily. Right on cue, Lily bluntly rejected me, just as she always did. She hit me with the classic, "I don't want a date right now." Told me to wait until she graduated college and finished with the legendary combo, "Can we still be friends?" Hearing that, I scoffed internally. Friends? Yeah, right. A green tea pick-me girl who showed her true colors after knowing the protagonist for less than half a month. So I nodded and said, "Sure thing, Lily." She froze, clearly not expecting me to agree so easily. She almost jumped for joy, thinking she was finally free from my annoying confessions, but could still keep milking me for all her worth. But my next sentence made her completely freeze. But let's skip the friends part. Let's just be real and delete each other's contacts. The smile on Lily's face shattered. She never actually intended to cut ties with me. Deleting me from her contacts left her utterly speechless. Logically, she should have been thrilled, but no, she still expected me to pay her tuition and living expenses for her entire 4 years of college. She thought this was just another routine rejection. Little did she know her premium, long-term meal ticket was sprouting legs and running away. She panicked and blurted out, "No, that's not what I meant. We can still totally be friends." I gave her a cold, mocking smile, taking in her flustered state. "You might want that, but I don't. In the adult world, the absence of a clear yes is a hard no. Let's just leave it at this. From now on, we go our separate ways and mind our own business." With that, I turned on my heel to leave. Seeing that I was actually walking away, Lily panicked hard. "What do you mean no clear yes is a no? You're too impatient. If you confess next time, I definitely won't say yes." But seeing me keep walking without missing a beat, she anxiously blurted, "Wait, what about my tuition and living expenses?" Even knowing that female leads in these wish-fulfillment novels are notoriously brain-dead, her sheer shamelessness was still jaw-dropping. I stopped and looked at her in absolute disbelief. At that moment, I truly felt the pain of the original owner. Simping for 3 years and getting absolutely nowhere with Lily, his brain was definitely wired wrong. What left me even more speechless were the melon-eating bystanders. They were actually taking her side. Some of them even muttered that even if we weren't friends, I should still pay her bills because we've known each other for 3 years and I shouldn't be so heartless. Hearing this absolute nonsense, my blood pressure spiked. Suddenly, Lily's best friend, Vanessa, stepped up. She was also a massive fangirl of the protagonist. She yelled at me, "What's your problem? Are you saying you're not paying Lily's tuition and living expenses anymore? You promised." My anger abruptly vanished, not because I wasn't mad, but because I had reached a level of zen-like fury. I knew arguing with these NPCs was a waste of breath. I replied coldly, "She and I are strangers now. Why the hell should I pay for her? Is it my legal obligation? If you guys care so much, why don't you pay for her? There are so many of you here. Everyone chipping in a few bucks should be enough, right? Don't tell me you guys don't even have a few spare dollars. Vanessa panicked. You were the one who promised. How can you go back on your word? I don't care, you owe Lily, you have to pay today. If you don't want to pay, you still have to pay. I clenched my fists, letting out a freezing scoff. Alright then, let me ask Lily a quick question. Over the past 3 years, how many gifts have I given you? Just the designer bags alone are worth hundreds of thousands, not to mention the jewelry and cold, hard cash. I didn't want to make a fuss, but can we look at it this way? I gave you those things to court you. Since you're rejecting me, hand them all back. They don't belong to you anymore. The moment those words dropped, Lily's face drained of color. She never expected me to play this card. The crowd was equally stunned. They couldn't believe I had dropped hundreds of thousands on designer bags alone for her. The crowd that was defending her a second ago went dead silent. Lily stammered, claiming she had sold all the gifts to pay off her family's debts. Even if you gave her millions, our Lily would take it all and still reject you. What are you going to do about it? Without a single second of hesitation, I raised my hand and slapped Vanessa right across the face. Smack! The noisy crowd instantly fell into a pin-drop silence. Lily jumped back in shock, unable to believe I actually got physical. Vanessa, tearing up from the sting, screamed furiously, "Tristan Locke, I am not done with you. You just wait." I looked at Vanessa and sneered, "Make me regret it." Vanessa, have you forgotten who I am? My dad is a major shareholder of this university. He donates a fortune here every year. Even the principal has to treat me with respect. I'd love to see how you make me regret it. Those words hit Vanessa and Lily like a freight train. Vanessa was struck dumb, her aggressive aura instantly deflating. She was starting to realize that picking a fight with me was a terrible idea. I continued my icy monologue. Vanessa, your family runs a breakfast shop, right? Starting tomorrow, I'll have people stand right outside your door. For every customer that walks up, I'll pay them double to go buy their breakfast from the shop next door. Let's see how long your little family business survives with zero income. The crowd gasped. The sheer flex of wealth was terrifyingly awesome. Some people were already doing the math, thinking about walking a few extra steps to Vanessa's shop just to get paid to eat breakfast elsewhere. Free food and cash? Sign me up. Vanessa's face went through 50 shades of pale. She hadn't realized the situation was this critical. If I actually did that, her family's shop wouldn't last a month. Realizing this, pure panic set in. Her anger over the slap vanished into thin air. She begged hastily, "Okay, I was wrong. Please don't do that. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't touch my parents' breakfast shop. I'll even kneel and beg you." At the end of the day, Vanessa was just an ordinary NPC who was used to bullying the old me. She had completely forgotten my status as a mega-rich heir. I didn't answer her. I just stared her down coldly. At this point, Lily stepped up with a righteous warning. "Enough. I'm warning you, Tristan. If you hurt Vanessa, I will never speak to you again for the rest of my life. And I won't let you bring me breakfast anymore, either." If this were the original owner, he would have been terrified by that threat. But a new soul was steering this ship now. Hearing that, I practically laughed out loud. Fantastic. That's basically a buy one get one free deal. Seeing me so cheerful, Lily was bewildered. "Are you crazy? Did you not hear me? I said I'll cut all contact with you. If you keep this up, I will literally ignore you for the rest of my life." Got it? The rest of my life? I waved my hand impatiently. No need to yell. My hearing works fine. Make sure you keep that promise, alright? I fully support you never looking for me again for the rest of your life. With that, I calmly glanced at Vanessa and prepared to walk away, completely dismissing her existence. Vanessa panicked completely. "Tristan, don't go. You're not actually going to ruin my parents' shop, right? You can't do this. I'm begging you." I was wrong. She thought Lily could force me to back down, but she didn't expect me to be so ruthlessly decisive. In her desperation, she lunged forward and hugged my leg. I stared down at Vanessa clinging to me like a barnacle. "Get your filthy hands off me." Vanessa stubbornly refused. "No, I won't let go unless you promise not to touch my shop." Right on cue, the novel's protagonist, Damian Stone, parted the crowd and made his grand entrance. Seeing him, Lily and Vanessa's eyes lit up like Christmas trees. Vanessa immediately let go of my leg and ran over to Damian. Damian offered Vanessa a confident main character smile. "Don't be afraid. Let him throw his tantrum. I'll handle this matter to the very end." Just one simple sentence, and Vanessa felt like she had found her savior. She looked at Damian with starry-eyed worship. "You're amazing, Damian. I'm counting on you." She then turned back to glare at me, smirking. "So what if you have money? With Damian here, you're nothing, Tristan." Lily also stepped closer, looking worried. "Damian, do you have a plan? Tristan's family is very rich. Maybe I should go talk to him again." She was acting all concerned that Damian would become my target. But Damian was practically overflowing with confidence. This confidence came courtesy of the system he had just bound to. The system had just issued him a crucial quest. Make breakfast. In just a few days, he would reach the level of a master chef, and the breakfast he made would undeniably attract hordes of customers. Plot armor at its finest. As soon as Damian finished his little heroic speech, I walked straight up to him. I calmly asked, "So you're handling Vanessa's problem? Great. Then the money Lily owes me, I assume you'll be paying that off for her, too, right?" That one sentence made Vanessa and Lily turn ghost pale. Damian stammered, his confident facade cracking. He awkwardly fumbled for words. He had just gotten the system. His pockets were currently holding more lint than cash. He asked nervously, "What money does Lily owe you? Weren't all those things you gave her completely voluntary?" Deep down, he knew full well that Lily had accepted countless gifts from the original owner. Yet, the guy hadn't even managed to hold her hand. I smiled brightly. It's true that I gave most of those gifts voluntarily, but Lily actively borrowed money from me a few times. Not much, just a little over $100,000. Since you're so eager to play the hero for Vanessa, I'm sure you'd be thrilled to help Lily clear her debts, right? Hearing this, Damian couldn't help but look at Lily. Is that true? Lily looked incredibly awkward. She had actually borrowed money from me. At the time, she claimed a relative had been in a car accident and needed emergency funds. I had generously lent it to her, and she assumed I wouldn't care, so she conveniently forgot about it. Hearing the confirmation, Damian suddenly swelled with righteous indignation. It's just a little over $100,000, right? I'll pay Lily's debt for her. I immediately whipped out a pen and paper and handed it to him. Since you promised to help her, signing an IOU shouldn't be too much to ask, right? Damian looked cornered, but for the sake of his ego in front of the girls, he gritted his teeth and signed it. I stood next to him and tapped the paper. Where's the date? If you don't write down a due date, when exactly are you planning to pay? Are 2 months enough? Vanessa couldn't stand it anymore and shrieked, Tristan, stop being so unreasonable. We're all college students. Where is he supposed to get that much money in 2 months? You're doing this on purpose. I suppressed the strong urge to backhand her again and replied coldly, this money has been owed for over 2 years. I haven't even charged interest. Am I supposed to wait decades for it? An IOU needs a date. I'm already being incredibly generous. Otherwise, pay up right now. Vanessa and Lily shut up instantly, terrified I'd force Damian to empty his empty pockets on the spot. Damian, placing his blind faith in his system, declared, fine, 2 months it is. After Damian signed the IOU, I turned and left. Sticking around these people was actively lowering my IQ. Seeing me leave, Damian let out a sigh of relief. He had originally planned to throw out some sarcastic taunts to provoke me into attacking him, but he didn't expect me to be so chillingly rational. Lily couldn't help but say, Damian, you shouldn't have to work so hard. Let me go talk to Tristan and tell him to write off that 100 grand.
Then you won't have to pay. Damian immediately stopped her. No need.
Don't worry, Lily, I'll take care of it. As the protagonist, his fragile male ego couldn't accept the woman he liked being entangled with a villain like me.
Seeing he was getting upset, Lily nodded obediently.
Okay, I trust you. I'll listen to whatever you say, Damian.
Her cute, submissive act completely hooked Damian.
If I had been there to see it, my eyes would have rolled so hard I'd be checking out my own brain. Soon enough, the news of my breakup with Lily spread like wildfire across the university. Everyone was gossiping that Lily must be regretting it big time, since she had clearly wanted to keep me around as a permanent VIP ATM, only for me to brutally cut the cord.
Hearing the gossip, Vanessa fiercely fired back. Who says Lily regrets it?
Let me tell you, our Lily doesn't regret a single thing. She's thrilled Tristan finally broke up with her.
Meanwhile, the entire university had received an open invitation to my party. I had completely rented out the Rose Bar for everyone to party for free. Of course, Damian, Lily, and Vanessa were explicitly uninvited. When the trio heard the news, they grinded their teeth in sheer jealousy, especially Lily. Back when it was her birthday, I had also rented out an entire venue, bought a customized 7-tier cake worth tens of thousands, and gifted her a bespoke designer dress, treating her like absolute royalty. As Lily was walking with Vanessa, her phone buzzed. It was a text from Damian. Lily, are you free tonight? Let me treat you to dinner. Let's go get some fried noodles.
Vanessa, reading over her shoulder, squealed, "Oh my gosh, Lily, you're so lucky.
Damian is taking you out for fried noodles.
What are you hesitating for?
You'd be an absolute fool not to go."
Lily reluctantly agreed, but deep down, her heart was wavering, especially when Vanessa insisted on tagging along as a third wheel, making her incredibly annoyed.
Vanessa claimed she wanted to ask Damian about her family's breakfast shop situation.
But since Lily liked Damian, she didn't exactly want to hand-deliver herself a green hat, get cheated on.
Perhaps influenced by my recent actions, Lily was starting to find Vanessa seriously grating. She thought to herself, why are you even coming? Aren't you supposed to be my best friend? Are you trying to be a giant light bulb?
But for the sake of friendship, and since she and Damian weren't officially a couple yet, Lily swallowed her annoyance and kept quiet. Meanwhile, at the Rose Bar, I was chilling quietly in the VIP center booth, watching everyone go wild. Throwing this party was just me wanting to experience the simple joys of being obscenely wealthy. On the flip side, at a dingy street stall, the blazing heat from the cooking fire was making Lily miserable. The plate of fried noodles in front of her was steaming hot, but in this sweltering summer weather, she had zero appetite. Her hair was sticking to her sweaty forehead.
Damian, trying to be attentive, placed a few extra pieces of meat into her bowl and asked gently, "Is it good?" The fried noodles here are top tier. In the past, Lily would have definitely flashed a brilliant smile and said, "It's delicious.
You have the best taste, Damian." But right now, she just felt like an absolute idiot sitting next to a roaring gas stove eating hot noodles in the middle of a heat wave.
What kind of twisted romance was this? It didn't help that Vanessa was practically inhaling her food, constantly praising Damian for picking such a great spot.
Lily just wanted to roll her eyes into another dimension. As for me, after getting a taste of the Rose Bar atmosphere, I left early. I hopped into my Rolls-Royce Cullinan and headed straight to Heaven on Earth, the most expensive and luxurious restaurant in the heart of the city's commercial district. Average price per head, tens of thousands.
As my Cullinan glided past, pedestrians couldn't help but stop and stare in awe.
Sitting at the dingy street stall, Lily instantly recognized the Rolls-Royce she used to ride in all the time. A wave of indescribable bitter emotion washed over her. Damian followed her gaze and immediately knew the person in the car was me, but I was entirely oblivious to them. The car drove smoothly into the VIP underground parking of the restaurant. If Lily hadn't seen it, she might have been fine, but after seeing it, the plate of cheap noodles in front of her tasted like absolute cardboard. Noticing her depressed expression, Damian stood up and dramatically dragged Lily and Vanessa toward Heaven on Earth to prove a point. While cruising along, I suddenly recalled a plot point from the original novel.
Damian's first major rise to power was thanks to a system quest.
He was tasked with buying a rundown, abandoned building in a remote area. Because it was so dilapidated and far away, it only cost a few $100,000.
But a few months later, that exact area was rezoned into a premium school district.
The value skyrocketed from a few $100,000 to over $2 million.
Damian sold it and instantly made his first massive fortune. But now that I knew the script, there was no way I was letting that happen.
I was going to buy that rundown building before he even got the chance. And not just that building, I was going to buy up all the surrounding properties that were up for sale.
If we're going to play this game, I'm playing for keeps. I'm going to blockade every single path the protagonist has.
Just picturing Damian clutching his measly few $100,000, running to complete his system quest, only to find he couldn't afford a single brick.
Pure comedy gold. However, that wasn't an immediate priority.
Getting a second chance at life with this dream-tier background meant I had to enjoy it first.
Eating this expensive food wasn't enough. I was going on a shopping spree. My inner shopaholic had been screaming to get out.
Before, when watching movies or reading, I always dreamed of walking into a luxury boutique and just pointing at things, saying, "I'll take it all." In my past life, buying something for a few bucks at the grocery store required mental calculus to ensure I wouldn't starve by the end of the month. But now, I could swipe the card until it smoked.
I had hundreds of thousands in my pocket money account alone. Even if I blew it all, who cares? I just asked my family for more.
According to the original plot, the MC's family was insanely wealthy, but to pursue Lily, the original owner constantly rejected money from his family. He even fought with his parents, leaving them baffled as to why their idiot son insisted on earning his own pennies when his allowance was basically a small nation's GDP.
The reason?
Lily once mentioned she liked men who were self-reliant, and that building a career from scratch was the true mark of a man. So, a literal billionaire heir went to work part-time handing out flyers, all to make Lily view him differently.
The result? Absolutely zero progress. Realizing this level of stupidity, I immediately decided to go home and reconcile with my family. But before heading back, I needed to buy them gifts.
So, I took my boys, Bruno and Tyson, and headed straight to the luxury boutiques. Halfway there, I turned my head and surprisingly spotted Damian, Lily, and Vanessa standing outside a street stall across the road. Watching them eat their cheap food, I chuckled, ignored them, and kept walking. But those three were definitely not calm. Damian tried to maintain his stoic, cool guy facade, preparing for a confrontation.
Vanessa was muttering curses under her breath, but Lily felt a sharp pang of loss. She thought, why didn't Tristan come over when he saw me? Shouldn't he be jealous? Shouldn't he at least march over and demand to take me home? Ignoring me like this is too much. I'm definitely never speaking to him again.
Lily felt incredibly aggrieved. Tristan had never treated her this way before. Deep down, she knew that if I had come over to take her away, she would have still chosen to stay with Damian just to prove a point. But at least having me fight for her would have satisfied her vanity. Being completely ignored stung her pride. Furthermore, she honestly missed riding in my Rolls-Royce. Why did she give up a luxury car with AC and gourmet food to sweat over a street stall with Damian?
Was she an idiot for choosing the hardcore survival route when she could have been living on easy mode?
She consoled herself with the thought that Damian will definitely be rich and successful one day. It balanced her out a little, but the bitter taste remained.
What shocked Damian and Lily even more was that I wasn't flanked by girls from the club. My companions were just my two bodyguards.
This completely scrambled Lily's brain.
How is that possible?
A rich heir like him, and he isn't surrounded by beauties. She always had a biased, stereotypical view of my rich boy identity, a classic trait of a novel's female lead. But while she was wallowing in self-pity, I was living my best life. At the luxury mall, under the adoring gazes of the sales associates, I waved my hand and bought a mountain of designer bags.
Handing them off to Bruno and Tyson was a flex.
The staff knew exactly how terrifyingly rich my family was. Even though they had seen wealthy clients, rarely did anyone shop with my level of zero hesitation apathy. A handsome young heir buying Birkins like they were cabbages, they practically fell over themselves using their sweetest voices to introduce products.
Some even tried to slip me their numbers. I rejected them all. Leaving the mall loaded with bags, I remembered I couldn't forget my sisters. So off to more boutiques I went. Walking past a toy store, I noticed the toys in this world were completely foreign to me, yet massively popular. It sparked an idea. Franchises like Transformers or Ultraman would make an absolute killing here.
Many legendary movies and shows from my original world didn't seem to exist here either.
Realizing this, I saw infinite potential for making money. Suddenly I felt the urge to build an empire. Meanwhile, Lily, Damian and Vanessa had subconsciously followed me. Vanessa kept her bitter expression still hung up on me, threatening her breakfast shop, but kept telling herself Damian would fix it. She continued to bootlick Damian.
Damian, upholding his protagonist aura, smiled confidently. If this were the original Lily, she would have felt proud of Damian.
But right now, Vanessa's constant brown-nosing pissed annoyed her.
She wanted to scream, "You're doing too much, Vanessa."
But to save face, Lily just sighed internally, wondering, what is Tristan buying all that stuff for?
Right then, Vanessa seemed to read her mind.
"Lily, did you see that?" Tristan's clearly panicking. Lily was taken aback. "What do you mean?" Even Damian looked curious. Vanessa analyzed confidently, "Think about it, dummy. We saw him buying gifts last night, right? He's buying all those designer bags and bracelets.
He's obviously buying apology gifts for you.
Have you forgotten how many bags and jewelry pieces he used to shower you with?" Hearing this, a light bulb went off in Lily's head. That's right.
Every time Tristan gave her a gift in the past, he also wandered through high-end stores just like this. A sudden thrill of excitement bubbled up inside her. If Tristan really was buying gifts to apologize, she might just forgive him a little.
She desperately hoped Vanessa was right.
But she quickly realized Damian was standing right next to her.
She couldn't let him get jealous, so she hastily put on an act.
"Even if he wants to apologize with gifts, I won't accept them. He went too far with my best friend and made Damian owe him money.
I will absolutely not forgive him."
She tilted her chin up arrogantly.
Vanessa was thrilled.
She raised her drink.
"Ah, that's my bestie.
Cheers." Damian felt a rush of immense satisfaction.
As long as the woman beside him was obedient and loyal, his ego was stroked.
At the same time, he silently vowed, "Tristan Locke, what you did to me today I will repay tenfold."
Damian had fully marked me as his nemesis. He firmly believed I couldn't actually let Lily go. To better protect Lily, Damian resolved to work harder. For the next few days, he would go to Vanessa's breakfast shop to learn the ropes and complete his first system quest. He knew this was step 1 to his empire. With a system, failing was impossible. A cheat code user losing? Nonsense. Damian was overflowing with confidence. Back to me.
After shopping till I dropped, Bruno, Tyson, and I hopped into the Rolls-Royce and headed home. This scene was witnessed by the trio.
Vanessa scoffed disdainfully. Lily, however, was dumbfounded. "Tristan bought all that stuff, but didn't even look at me once. He just left. Why isn't it playing out like Vanessa said? If those gifts weren't for me, then who are they for? Does Tristan like someone else? Did he move on that fast?" Lily felt a sudden surge of jealousy and anger, thinking I was being totally unreasonable. Yet ironically, she added a few points to Damian in her mind. Compared to Damian's loyalty, Tristan was a jerk. Damian was just glad I hadn't come over to cause trouble.
It gave him time to gather strength. He knew he just needed a little time to flip the board. Vanessa, predictably, stopped mentioning that the gifts were for Lily. My mood, however, was fantastic.
I bought gifts for my 5 sisters and didn't forget my parents. In this run, I decided to fully reconcile with my family.
I wasn't going to be a stubborn idiot like the original owner. Honestly, having a shortcut and choosing to walk through thorns is peak stupidity. The original owner was born into wealth, but was brainwashed by Lily's self-made man rhetoric. I had suffered enough as a wage slave in my past life. If someone told me I had a billionaire dad, mansions, sports cars, and an empire ready for me, I'd cry tears of joy. I still couldn't fathom why the original owner was so hung up on Lily. The city is full of beautiful women, and with the Locke family's power, couldn't he have his pick of anyone? Walking into the Locke family mansion, I was struck speechless by the sheer opulence. Before I could even say a word, an elegant woman with her hair in a bun rushed out.
"My baby Tristan is home.
Come here, Mom will peel an apple for you." This was the original owner's mother, Margaret Locke. Despite being nearly 50, she was impeccably maintained and exuded aristocratic grace.
I calmly asked, "Mom, where's Dad?"
"Your father is in his study," Margaret replied.
I headed straight for Theodore Locke's study.
Pushing the door open, he looked exactly as described in the book.
Slightly graying hair, sharply dressed, reading a newspaper. I suppose casually. "Dad, I need some pocket money." Theodore froze, lowering his newspaper to stare at me in shock. Son, didn't you say you didn't want our money? Are you in trouble? Wait, is this money for that Lily Vance girl? Theodore harbored absolutely zero affection for Lily. I immediately denied it. No, I'm done pursuing Lily Vance. Theodore was stunned. Margaret, who had just walked in holding an apple, dropped it in pure shock. She rushed forward. Tristan, are you telling the truth? I nodded calmly. Yes, Mom, 100% truth. After securing the bag from my parents, I headed out. I knew exactly what was coming next.
Damian was heading to Vanessa's shop to complete his quest and make his first pot of gold.
Obviously, I wasn't going to let him succeed. I dispatched Bruno and Tyson to handle it.
Right now, the most important woman to me was Scarlet Sterling. The next morning, Scarlet heard the news that I had broken up with Lily. She lay slumped on her desk, resting her face on her arms, idly spinning a pen.
She thought, what is Tristan thinking? Did he really give up on Lily? Does that mean I have a chance?
I'm so jealous of Lily having a great guy like Tristan simping for her for 3 years. In the classroom, Lily sat in a daze.
Vanessa consoled her. Lily, don't overthink it. Damian is 100 times better than Tristan.
You have his attention, which is all that matters.
Tristan isn't pestering you anymore. You should be celebrating. These words helped Lily balance her ego. She thought, that's right. Damian is going to be incredibly successful. But just then, the classroom erupted in whispers,
as I walked in carrying a piping hot breakfast. Whoa, young Master Locke brought breakfast for Lily again.
What's going on? Didn't they say he cut ties with her yesterday? Haha, I knew it.
He simped for her for 3 years.
He can't just let go that easily.
In the corner, Scarlet saw this and her eyes dimmed with disappointment.
She sighed internally. He's still as whipped as ever.
She buried her head lower, only her bright eyes peeking out at me.
Why isn't a handsome guy like him mine? So annoying.
She gritted her teeth.
Lily, seeing the scene, couldn't help but smile smugly. Perfect. Tristan hasn't given up on me.
She almost stood up to take the breakfast from me, but rethinking it, she restrained herself, sitting up perfectly straight,
eagerly waiting for me to bring it over. She decided not to be cold this time.
She would give me a sweet smile to say thank you.
Vanessa looked amused while the rest of the class watched silently, waiting for the drama.
As I walked past Lily, her lips parted slightly, the thank you right on the tip of her tongue.
But I didn't stop.
I walked right past her.
The entire class froze.
They watched as I walked straight to the back row, right up to Scarlet. Under her utterly shocked gaze, I held out the food.
Scarlet, I bought you breakfast. Eat it while it's hot.
Scarlet's heart hammered in her chest. She stared blankly, unable to believe this was real. The crowd around us bugged their eyes out, utterly shocked by the plot twist. As for Lily, her brain basically imploded.
Her shock vastly outweighed Scarlet's. Tristan is giving breakfast to another woman? A wave of intense grievance hit her.
That breakfast was supposed to be hers. Her mind flashed back to the countless times I had brought her breakfast, something she had always taken for granted and eventually found annoying.
My constant presence used to irritate her, but now that I stopped, she couldn't stand it.
You said you'd love me forever, and now you abandoned me.
How can you be so cruel?
Lily felt increasingly wronged, tears welling up in her eyes as she watched me stand in front of Scarlet. Her Delulu brain automatically painted us as a sickeningly sweet couple. Unable to take it, she almost leaped out of her seat to confront us. Meanwhile, Scarlet's face was as red as a ripe tomato. Her big eyes stared in awe at the man she had secretly loved for 3 years. She still couldn't believe this sweet breakfast was actually for her.
Tristan, is this really for me? She asked cautiously.
I set the food down and took the seat next to her.
That simple action sent Scarlet's heart into overdrive.
It felt like it was going to burst out of her chest. I am the eldest daughter of the Sterling family, she reminded herself, desperately trying to maintain her cool, but the pure joy and sweetness almost made her lose control. It took her a long moment to accept reality. The happiness came too suddenly.
Did Tristan reject Lily because of me?
Scarlet's imagination ran wild, but she quickly grounded herself, knowing how hopelessly devoted I used to be. There's no way he's over her that fast. She practically whispered, "Thank you, Tristan." If Scarlet's gang of elite socialite friends saw this,
their jaws would hit the floor. Scarlet was famously fierce and independent.
One glare from her was usually enough to send chills down anyone's spine. With her fiery red hair and flawless makeup, she exuded total queen energy. But in front of me, she was as docile as a kitten.
Scarlet didn't say anything else. Her mind was blank.
She just mechanically picked up the pork bun and soy milk I bought. Normally, she'd complain about street food being too greasy. But today, it tasted like Michelin star cuisine. Plus, she hadn't eaten breakfast, so it didn't just fill her stomach, it filled her heart.
Watching Scarlet act so adorably, I felt equally hyped. I really wanted to scream at the original owner.
You had this edgy, adorable girl right here, and you ignored her to simp for Lily?
Are you blind?
I tilted my head watching her. She kept her head down quietly nibbling the bun. Her red hair fell over her shoulders, her big eyes darting around nervously. Sensing my gaze, she blushed even harder, panicking and refusing to make eye contact.
We sat in this cute little standoff until she couldn't take it anymore. She peeked at me asking softly, "What is it, Tristan?"
Right now, she showed zero traits of a villainess. She was just a super cute girl in love.
I flashed a bright smile. Nothing. Just thinking you look really cute when you eat.
Instantly, Scarlet went full Hinata from Naruto. Her face was so red it practically steamed. She didn't argue, just buried her face and kept attacking her bun.
The rest of the class was still processing the morning's intense soap opera.
Lily bit her lip looking utterly miserable. The breakfast was quickly demolished. Scarlet quietly sipped her soy milk.
I didn't say much else either. No matter how much Lily sulked, there was nothing she could do.
The morning classes flew by, but Scarlet didn't absorb a single word. She was too busy debating whether she should ask me out. My actions today had completely shaken her, but she hesitated, unsure if I was truly over Lily. She feared that if I was just using her to make Lily jealous, she'd end up looking like a clown. That thought made her pout, sitting alone in a daze, looking incredibly squishable.
On the flip side, Lily's mind was a chaotic mess. Has Tristan really stopped pursuing me? She refused to accept it. Vanessa chimed in again. Lily, stop worrying. I bet Tristan is just faking it. Faking what? Lily played the innocent White Lotus perfectly. Vanessa analyzed it like a pro. Think about it. We saw him buying gifts last night, right? And today he's deliberately ignoring you to give breakfast to that Scarlet girl. Since when is he close to Scarlet? He's obviously trying to make you jealous. Vanessa's logic hit Lily like a revelation. She's right. He simped for me for 3 years. He can't just drop it overnight. He's definitely throwing a tantrum. So, you mean he's going to keep pursuing me? Lily's face lit up. Duh, Vanessa replied. He was your lapdog for 3 years. He wouldn't quit for no reason. Don't worry, Lily. Besides, you have Damian now. Even if Tristan stops chasing you, who cares? Lily's smile faltered slightly. Damian. She pondered for a second and decided Damian was still the better bet. She kept daydreaming, but couldn't resist looking back at me. Seeing me chatting and laughing with Scarlet made her blood boil. Jerk. Trying to make me jealous by flirting with another girl. She felt wronged all over again. I sat next to Scarlet smiling. Scarlet, are you free tonight? Let me take you out to dinner. Scarlet blinked. Dinner? Why the sudden invite? She still hadn't caught on. I have some assignments I don't understand, hoping you could tutor me. Are you free? I made up a smooth excuse. Scarlet thought for a second. Oh, I see. I'm free. But if we're eating out, it's my treat. You bought me breakfast today, after all. Thanks, Tristan. I'm really happy. I pressed on. It's fine. Aside from studying, I actually have some business I want to discuss with you. That evening at the Elite Divine Zenith restaurant, Scarlet and I sat in a private dining room. I planned to bring her along on my rocket ship to wealth. Scarlet, I have insider info, I started. A plot of land in Cloud City is about to be rezoned into a premium school district. I want to invite you to co-invest. Interested? Scarlet looked stunned, then answered slowly. Really, Tristan? How much do you need me to invest? Her lack of hesitation shocked me. I'm planning to drop 10 million. How much can you chip in? Scarlet didn't even blink. If the intel is from you, I'll dump my entire allowance into it. 50 million. I'll transfer it all to you. You handle the operations. I trust you.
Hearing she had 50 million lying around in pocket money, I had to take a moment.
Recalling the original owner's actions, I couldn't help but roast him in my head. Tristan, you absolute clown. You had this flawless queen ready to back you up, and you ignored her for Lily? A rich heiress isn't appealing enough for you.
Having her by your side literally skips 30 years of grinding.
Looking at her sweet smile, I asked seriously, Scarlet, you trust me that much? She laughed. Of course. Even if we lose it all, it doesn't matter. If you need more, just tell me. I'll get it from my family. That's enough. That's enough, I said quickly. Thank you, Scarlet. I promise we're going to make a massive killing on this. As we got friendlier, Scarlet relaxed completely. Tristan, don't worry. If anyone bullies you from now on, just come to me. I'll handle them for you. I'm not someone to be messed with. Or better yet, be my underling.
This dinner was the most satisfying meal I'd had in a long time. After leaving the hotel, we headed our separate ways. Back home, just as I was about to chill, I got a friend request notification. It was from Lily Vance. I smirked. Alright, let's accept it and see what the female lead is plotting. The moment I accepted, her first message popped up.
Tristan, what exactly is your relationship with Scarlet?
I replied with one word.
Friends. Then, I tossed my phone aside and went to sleep.
On the other end, Lily was losing her mind.
Friends? What kind of friends go out to eat at the Divine Zenith? Are you that close? Tristan, answer me. Where are you? She spammed me. Seeing I wasn't replying, she threw her phone in a rage and went to bed. The next morning, I checked my phone. 26 unread messages. I rolled my eyes. Is she psycho?
I ignored them all, opened my chat with Scarlet, and sent a good morning.
Scarlet replied instantly. Good morning, Tristan. P.
At the same time, Lily woke up, grabbed her phone, and saw no reply from me. She started thinking she had been too cold to me in the past.
After some intense mental gymnastics,
she went to the supermarket and bought a pair of black fishnet stockings. She muttered to herself, Tristan Locke, I refuse to believe you won't be tempted.
Meanwhile, at Vanessa's breakfast shop, Vanessa, Mom, Dad, this is Damian, my schoolmate. He's here to help out. Her parents looked bewildered. Help? Help with what? Vanessa stated seriously, with the business, obviously. Damian put on his most righteous face. Uncle, Auntie, I'm very passionate about making breakfast.
You just need to teach me, and I guarantee I can help make the most delicious breakfast items. Before the parents could respond, Vanessa's busy brother, Victor, laughed mockingly. Hey, buddy, are you serious? Making breakfast might seem simple, but it takes skill. Have you ever studied cooking?
No, Damian replied. I haven't even cooked rice before.
Victor kept working, tossing over his shoulder.
Then absolutely not.
Even though our shop is in a bit of a slump, we don't need your help.
Vanessa, take your friend and go hang out.
Mom, Dad, and I are busy.
Damian didn't get mad at Victor's dismissal.
He kept his faint smile, the classic, slightly crooked smirk of an arrogant protagonist.
Vanessa, unhappy with her brother's tone, yelled, Victor, what are you saying? Damian is super talented.
She then whined to her parents, Mom, Dad, just teach him.
We really need his help right now.
Her dad looked confused.
Why do we need his help?
The shop isn't facing any major crisis.
What are you talking about?
Her mom was getting impatient.
All right, Vanessa. Here's $100. Go take your friend shopping. Or slammed. Vanessa didn't know how to explain.
How was she supposed to say, hey, parents, I caused a massive disaster by pissing off a crazy rich heir,
who is now paying people double to buy from our competitors, deliberately trying to bankrupt us?
She was so stressed, she couldn't form a sentence.
Her family, blissfully ignorant, kept working. Just then, a customer walked up.
Boss, 2 meat buns, 2 plain buns, and a soy milk.
Coming right up.
That's $5, her dad replied happily, but a voice suddenly echoed from the side. Hey, buddy, I'll give you $10 if you go buy that from the shop next door.
The customer froze, instantly on guard. Why? The guy answered bluntly, I've got a beef with this shop.
As long as they don't make a dime, I don't care how much money I burn.
The whole Vanessa family froze. The customer, feeling like he just won a mini lottery, carefully took the $10 and walked next door. And it wasn't just him. Several other customers arrived and got paid to leave, beaming with joy. One curious customer asked, Hey, man, is this a daily thing?
The guy nodded, grinning widely.
You bet.
Rest assured, as long as you don't buy from this shop,
you can come to me for cash every day.
The amount varies, but I've got plenty of cash to burn.
Vanessa's family was paralyzed.
They blinked as over a dozen customers turned on their heels, clutching free cash, and walked away.
Victor ground his teeth. What kind of scumbag came up with this dirty trick? Is it the bun shop next door? Or the noodle joint across the street? This is way out of line, her dad sneered. Let's see how long they can keep handing out free money. It's basically throwing cash into the street. Are they brain damaged? But Vanessa was currently terrified.
She stammered, Dad, it's not the other shops, it's a rich heir named Tristan Locke.
He's insanely wealthy.
Earning money like this for a few months or even years means nothing to him.
Victor was stunned. What? Her dad demanded. Why is this rich heir targeting us? Vanessa, what exactly is going on? Explain yourself.
Interrogated by her furious father,
Vanessa was too scared to speak. Her mom urged anxiously, spit it out. What happened? Victor joined in. Who did you piss off?
Tell us. As Vanessa floundered, Damian, the protagonist, calmly stepped forward, flashing his signature smile.
Uncle, Auntie, let me explain. It's really not a big deal. Before he could finish, Victor snapped, Shut your mouth. Who are you to butt into our family business? Vanessa, fiercely protective of Damian, shot back, Victor, watch your mouth. Damian is my friend. If you insult him again, I'm cutting you off. Damian then summarized the event, conveniently leaving out the parts about Lily taking gifts and borrowing money.
He twisted it to sound like Vanessa bravely stood up for a friend and accidentally offended an arrogant rich kid.
Her family looked sick.
Her dad sighed heavily.
Vanessa, if you have nothing better to do, why cause trouble? Her mom added, Why provoke someone like that?
Some powerful family, Victor asked.
So, what do we do now?
Damian opened his mouth to speak, but a cold voice interrupted.
Damian, are you absolutely sure you're telling the truth?
Her dad interrupted the conversation.
His face etched with misery as he sighed, internally cursing his troublemaker daughter. What female lead fantasy is she living in? How can a normal girl fight a mega-rich heir?
If they knew that I actually did nothing wrong and Vanessa was entirely to blame, they'd probably want to beat her to a pulp. These past few days, Vanessa's mom had been so stressed, she almost fainted.
The impact on their family was catastrophic. Normal people simply can't survive this level of financial warfare.
At the university, the breakfast shop incident became legendary gossip.
Did you hear? Tristan Locke is destroying Vanessa's breakfast shop. It even made the local news.
I went there 2 days ago and made $60 just for existing.
Why didn't you tell me? I want free money, too. More and more people lined up, all opting to take the cash and skip Vanessa's shop.
Her parents watched in agony as crowds took my money and bought breakfast from their competitors. The biggest insult was when people came by, not to buy food, but to say, Hey, your shop is awesome. Thanks to you guys, I made a few $100. Her dad resorted to begging. Please, sir, buy a breakfast to help me out.
We haven't had a customer in days. I can't take this anymore. We'll go bankrupt at this rate.
Vanessa looked like a nervous wreck, too scared to speak for days, terrified her parents would actually hit her.
Damian's confidence morphed into anxiety. He thought this was his golden ticket to rise up, but I completely derailed it with a single brutal financial move.
He hadn't figured out a counter strategy yet, but he quickly calmed down, thinking he just needed someone famous to endorse his food. Damian was overly confident in his cooking skills.
However, since he was still a nobody without connections, he thought of asking Lily for help. Surely her beauty would draw a crowd. He excitedly texted her. Lily, are you free? Can you do me a favor?
In class, Lily was a bit confused, but listened to the context. She understood the situation and felt I was being too cruel to her best friend. Plus, seeing me get close to Scarlet a few days ago already had her irritated. She decided to intervene.
Damian thought to himself, Tristan, I refuse to believe you don't care about Lily anymore.
Suddenly, his phone buzzed.
Lily's reply, no problem, leave it to me. I'll handle it.
Damian was thrilled until his brain processed the word handle.
Wait, is she going to talk to Tristan? No, absolutely not.
He frantically spammed her with messages to stop her, but Lily ignored them.
After class, she changed into a JK uniform skirt and the black fishnet stockings she bought.
Strutting across campus, she was an absolute head-turner, leaving the fanboys drooling.
Wow, she's gorgeous. That's the campus belle, Lily Vance. Tristan gave up on her. His loss. Hearing the praises, Lily felt smug.
Tristan, I don't believe you can resist me looking like this. Just then, she spotted me leaning against a railing ahead, looking effortlessly cool, like I was waiting for someone.
Lily's heart skipped a beat. He's still so handsome, just as good-looking as Damian, if not more.
She was about to walk over when a roaring engine shattered the peace. A fiery red supercar drifted to a halt right in front of me. The crowd gasped as a stunning redhead stepped out,
her long legs instantly stealing the spotlight. The whispers started again. Is that Tristan's new girlfriend? Rich kids really have it all. She's top tier. She's easily on par with Lily Vance.
Hearing this, Lily felt her soul leave her body. The redhead was Scarlet Sterling.
Lily couldn't believe her eyes.
Scarlet walked right up to me, so I smiled.
To everyone else, we looked like the ultimate power couple. Lily's competitive spirit flared up. Am I really losing to her? Tristan must be faking it. She felt a bit guilty toward Damian, but couldn't help herself. She rationalized it.
I'm only doing this to help Damian negotiate with Tristan to spare Vanessa's family. Armed with this noble excuse, Lily gathered her courage and walked over. She assumed I bought the supercar for Scarlet. She didn't know who Scarlet was and assumed she was just an ordinary girl. But when I dated Lily, I only gave her gifts worth a few $100,000. I had just met Scarlet and was already buying her a supercar.
It was entirely unfair.
Her jealousy spiked, feeling like I didn't truly love her. As she approached, she caught the tail end of our conversation.
Tristan, I transferred the money. Looking forward to the good news.
Scarlet said, if you need more, just say the word. No problem, Scarlet, I replied smoothly. Stick with me and I'll make you filthy rich. Scarlet smirked playfully.
Hey, you're my underling. Call me boss. I chuckled. Yes, boss Scarlet.
At that moment, I noticed Lily standing behind Scarlet, looking like a picturesque scene. I had to admit, Lily was top tier. Black fishnets, long legs, a pure face combined with a short JK skirt. She was a lethal combination of innocent and seductive. Her pitiful expression was enough to drive most men crazy.
But I felt absolutely nothing. Because Scarlet, standing right in front of me, wasn't losing to her by a single point.
Noticing my gaze, Scarlet turned around. The two women locked eyes. Lily flinched slightly, but stood her ground.
Tristan, I need to talk to you. Can we step aside? She didn't understand our talk about money and didn't realize Scarlet was a wealthy heiress.
She just wanted to fix Damian's problem.
I replied coldly, whatever you have to say, say it here. Lily hesitated, glancing at Scarlet. Scarlet glared back coldly. This girl is giving me hostile vibes. She definitely likes Tristan. Does Tristan like her back?
Scarlet's mind raced, but refusing to lose dominance, she stood tall.
Tristan, Lily started, about Vanessa's family's breakfast shop. I apologize on her behalf. Can you please let them off the hook? Just do it for me. Scarlet looked confused. Breakfast shop? Which shop? I replied flatly, no, Lily, she started it. Did you forget how arrogant she was that day?
Demanding I pay your bills, telling me I had to pay whether I wanted to or not.
Does a simple sorry fix that? Lily grew anxious. But I'm apologizing for her. Isn't that enough?
She felt incredibly wronged. Scarlet rolled her eyes internally.
What is wrong with this girl? Is she brain damaged? I scoffed, if apologies actually worked, what do we need the police for? But honestly, I had vented enough. Vanessa was a minor NPC. She wouldn't affect the grand scheme anyway. Seeing Lily acting so pitiful, I got a new idea. Right then, Lily gritted her teeth and made a massive sacrifice. Fine, Tristan, I agree to date you. Is that enough? She spoke loudly. The crowd heard her and gasped in collective shock. The gossips went wild, but I just smiled and calmly replied, no. Why would I want to date you? I'm not interested. Go find someone else. The crowd was floored. Lily couldn't believe her own ears. When she finally processed it, she stared in horror. Tristan, you're rejecting me. I stayed completely composed. Just because you agree to date me means I have to accept? What kind of logic is that? If you don't have anything actually important to say, stop bothering me. I'm busy talking to Scarlet. Lily stood frozen, utterly traumatized. She genuinely thought she was the only one in my heart, only to be brutally shot down. Tears welled up in her eyes. You liked me. I just said yes. How can you reject me? Before she could finish, Scarlet couldn't take the cringe anymore. She cut in coldly, hey, Tristan told you not to bother us. Are you deaf? If you won't leave on your own, I don't mind helping you. Scarlet's ice-cold tone was a stark contrast to her obedient attitude with me. Lily looked at me helplessly, like a trapped animal. Tristan, she's threatening me. Say something. I looked at her blankly. Why are you still standing here? Didn't you hear what Scarlet said? Scarlet was secretly thrilled. He really is over her. Just as I turned back to Scarlet, Lily gritted her teeth. Fine, what exactly do I have to do for you to spare Vanessa's family? I found this amusing. I stepped closer and whispered, tell Damian Stone to get on his knees and apologize to me. Do that, and I'll let them go. Lily panicked. This was the first time she felt genuine, suffocating pressure from me. Trembling, she whispered, okay, I'll try talking to Damian. You better keep your promise. I turned and walked away with Scarlet. Lily stared at my back, wanting to call out, but she couldn't find her voice. Somewhere deep down, my status had completely eclipsed Damian's. Back at the breakfast shop, Damian was anxiously waiting for Lily's news. The thought of the woman he loved talking to me made him feel like he was wearing a giant green hat. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. He rushed to open it, expecting good news, ready to smile, but reading the text, his face turned to stone. Damian, could you please kneel and apologize to Tristan? If you do, he'll let Vanessa's family go. He promised me. Can you help? Lily used the most submissive, desperate tone possible, but those words made Damian see red. If Lily wasn't the one texting, he would have punched someone. Make me, Damian Stone, kneel? You have a death wish. Damian was furious, but as the righteous protagonist, blessed with a harem and endless plot armor, he couldn't blame Lily. He directed all his absolute hatred toward me. That bastard Tristan, making my sweet Lily suffer like this. This isn't over. I'll get revenge for you, Lily. Damian gritted his teeth, hating that he was still weak. If he just had a little more time, I'd be nothing to him. He calmed himself and replied, Lily, don't worry. I'll handle it. Kneeling to Tristan isn't my style. I have another way to help Vanessa's family. You just rest. That text snapped Lily back to reality. She had already left the campus gates and was hiding in a corner reading his message. She suddenly jolted. What am I doing? Why did I even think about making Damian kneel to Tristan? Could it be he's really not as good as Tristan? She opened my contact and sent a text. Tristan, I'm asking one last time. Are you going to let Vanessa's family go or not? If you keep this up, Damian won't let you off. Reading that, I actually laughed out loud. Is she delusional? How is Damian supposed to rise up now? I decided to tell Scarlet about the breakfast shop drama. Scarlet laughed. Tristan, this is hilarious. Why didn't you invite me to watch? She blushed slightly, looking at me. Tristan, do you really not have any feelings left for Lily? I looked at her affectionately. Not a single drop. A woman like that isn't worth a second of my time. Scarlet beamed. Exactly. She doesn't deserve everything you did for her. I texted Lily back. Sure thing. I'll be waiting for him. That text made Lily furious. She turned off her phone, grinding her teeth. Just wait until Damian shines. Let's see how arrogant you are then.
Before Lily came to find me, Scarlet had confirmed the 50 million was transferred.
I was ecstatic.
I decided to buy up real estate in Cloud City. Originally, I just wanted to buy the cheap stuff, but with 60 million total, I could do way more. Scarlet didn't even care if she lost it all, which made me appreciate her even more. Compared to Damian, who had a system, but was still struggling and stressing over pennies, I was playing on God mode. Lily, out of options, decided to help Damian herself.
She went to Vanessa's shop to taste Damian's cooking. She forced a smile. Wow, Damian, your food is amazing. Damian was hyped. Lily, it's all up to you now. If you help promote it, we'll definitely overcome this.
She nodded, confident her beauty would draw a massive crowd.
But days passed, and only a handful of customers showed up. Lily, Damian, and Vanessa's family were completely dumbfounded. Why? Because right next to my free money booth, I had put up a new sign. Lottery. Win 20x, 50x, or 100x the cash reward. Damian was paralyzed.
Victor's jaw hit the floor.
100 times? I want to draw a ticket, too. Vanessa's family was in despair.
It was utterly ridiculous.
100 times meant someone could walk away with over $1,000. I was burning tens of thousands a day. They gave up. Vanessa's parents decided to move the shop elsewhere. They couldn't fight me. Vanessa had no choice but to bow her head and apologize.
Her parents realized the terrifying reality of fighting a true billionaire heir who casually drops tens of thousands a day just to bankrupt a tiny breakfast stall.
It was absurd. But my actions left the family in absolute terror-filled despair. As for Damian, being the protagonist, a few setbacks didn't ruin him.
At least he completed the cooking quest and leveled up his skills. Right now, he just wanted to level up fast to crush me.
Tristan Locke, you just wait. I won't let this go. Damian sneered.
30 years east of the river, 30 years west.
Never bully a poor youth.
Right on cue, the system's voice echoed in his head.
Some main quest.
Find Crystal Snow and develop an indie game with her. Reward, $100,000 in master-level programming skills.
Side quest. Pinch Crystal Snow's cheek. Reward, basic computer science knowledge. Side quest. Successfully date Crystal Snow.
Reward, $10,000.
Side quest. Hug Crystal Snow for 10 plus seconds. Reward, basic writing skills. Side quest. Confess to Crystal Snow at the right moment. Reward, upgraded drawing skills. Side quest. Pool date with Crystal Snow. See her in a swimsuit. Reward, upgraded acting skills.
Seeing this flood of quests, Damian smiled confidently. All his previous grievances vanished.
Having a system was the ultimate peak. These quests were basically free money. Damian knew Crystal Snow.
They had geeked out over coding before, and he had helped chase away a bully for her. They had a solid bond. He figured these quests would be a breeze. Imagining working closely with the cute Crystal, he got incredibly excited.
Once this game blows up, I'll flip the script entirely. Tristan, wait.
I'll crush you under my heel and make you beg Lily for mercy.
Damian felt totally justified. Getting cozy with Crystal wasn't wrong. He never considered it might hurt Lily.
He assumed Lily would just understand. As for Vanessa's apologies, I didn't care at all.
Vanessa was in tears. Tristan, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I was completely out of line.
I coldly reminded her, too late for sorry.
Do I look like I have time to play games with you? In absolute despair, Vanessa did something that genuinely shocked me.
She started unbuttoning her shirt.
I jumped back. What the hell are you doing?
Crying, she begged, Tristan, I'll give myself to you.
Just please let my family go.
I quickly stopped her.
Stop acting. You think I want what you're offering? Where's all that arrogance from the other day? Weren't you demanding I pay for Lily's entire life?
I purposely rubbed salt in the wound.
Vanessa hung her head. I'm sorry. I was stupid. You didn't owe Lily anything. You treated her so well and she didn't appreciate it. I'm sorry. Those words broke Vanessa entirely.
Seeing her crying on her knees put me in a great mood. I decided to stop messing with her and let her off the hook. Vanessa pulled her shirt back up, looking stunned.
She really thought she was undesirable.
She assumed a rich kid like me was a total pervert, yet I acted like a perfect gentleman. It completely shattered her worldview. Subconsciously, she even developed a tiny crush on me.
Walking home, she wasn't thinking about Damian. She was thinking about me. Why didn't he want me? Am I not pretty enough?
Lost in thought, she suddenly stopped.
She saw two people walking shoulder to shoulder ahead. It was Damian and Crystal Snow. In the original story, Vanessa would have happily run up and greeted them.
She might have been a tiny bit jealous, but she would never blame Damian. But now, she felt disgusted.
He's on a date with another girl? Doesn't he like Lily? Vanessa's worldview crumbled again. Suddenly, a pleasant voice echoed behind her. Vanessa, wasn't Damian your shining knight? Even seeing him with another girl, you just think he's too excellent, right? Vanessa jumped.
She finally realized how twisted it was. I only ever loved one person, or so she thought.
While Damian flirted with Lily and was now openly dating someone else.
Even if they hadn't done anything explicit, walking intimately in a park late at night was crossing a line.
What about Lily? Vanessa was furious. Damian was totally in the wrong. If Lily found out, what would happen?
After a moment's hesitation, impulsively, she took a picture and sent it to Lily.
Lily, look at this. Damian is strolling with another girl. Vanessa knew they basically acted like a couple. Damian always said he loved his sweet Lily. The shock came when Lily replied almost instantly. So what? Damian is so amazing.
It's normal for other girls to be around him.
It's fine,
but that jerk dared to sneak out with someone else. Just wait till I deal with him.
Seeing that reply, Vanessa was utterly speechless. Lily, are you not mad?
Her mental state collapsed. All her goodwill toward Damian vanished. She had fought her family for him, fought me for Lily, ruining her own life.
Now she didn't know what to do. Ultimately, Vanessa was just a minor side character.
When Lily got bullied, Damian would play the hero.
But Vanessa was just a stepping stone for his quests.
Once he failed to use her shop, he instantly dropped her and moved on to Crystal Snow. Crystal, meanwhile, was drowning in Damian's gentle act, finding him incredibly charming. In the half-month they knew each other, she found him responsible, smart, and radiant.
She wanted to be closer.
Importantly, he hadn't tried anything sketchy yet, which made her want to drop hints. In the park, Damian suggested making a game together.
Crystal's eyes lit up. Really, Damian? You want to make a game with me? That's exactly what I wanted, Damian boasted.
With your help, we'll make a national hit.
Maybe even go global.
Thanks to the system, he was fearless. Crystal, oblivious to his cheat code, trusted him implicitly.
I believe in you, Damian.
While Damian and Crystal were hitting it off, my life was much more peaceful.
According to the plot, I should have been texting Lily to check on her.
But ever since I stopped simping, my life was fantastic. I even traveled to Cloud City with Scarlet's 50 million,
taking Bruno and Tyson to negotiate real estate.
Friends knew I was the lock heir and fast-tracked everything, saving me a ton of hassles.
Damian was supposed to buy that rundown building.
He should have had the cash from saving Vanessa's shop and borrowing from the girls, but this time, he got nothing from Vanessa, and Lily had asked him for money, which I flatly refused to give her.
Damian was broke.
Plus, he still owed me $100 grand.
If he didn't pay up, he couldn't buy the property anyway.
He had to pivot to Crystal to get the system rewards, or he wouldn't even be able to pay off his debt. When buying the main building, I conveniently bought all the cheap surrounding houses, too. Total cost, over 30 million.
Once done, I headed back to the Lock Mansion.
Theodore and Margaret were ecstatic when they heard Scarlet invested 50 million in me. That night, Scarlet and I had dinner at the Divine Zenith. I told her all about the real estate sweep. Scarlet listened, mesmerized. Finally, I joked, Sister Scarlet, aren't you afraid I messed up and your money evaporated? I upgraded her status to sister to secure that sweet villainous protection. Scarlet laughed heartily.
No way. You're my underling. What's there to fear?
If you lose it all, just tell me.
I'll get more.
She raised her wineglass, her radiant smile stunning me.
I didn't hide my next move.
Sister Scarlet, I'm eyeing the Mirage Bar next.
I plan to buy it.
In the original plot, Damian rented this bar because the owner, Morgana, took a liking to him.
Morgana wasn't a main female lead, just another one of Damian's simps.
She was an over 30, perpetually single, fierce boss lady who had zero interest in men, but when Damian beat up some thugs harassing her, she fell for him in days. I remember thinking that plot point was ridiculous.
Single for decades, falls in love in 3 days? Talk about a slap in the face to logic. Female leads and side characters were all completely brain-dead for the protagonist.
But whatever. I just wanted to buy the bar to cut off Damian's easy money route.
Scarlet supported me 100%. Go for it. If you run out of cash, I've got you covered. Her generosity genuinely moved me. Sister Scarlet, you are the best. After dinner, I acted the perfect gentleman and took Scarlet home.
Meanwhile, Damian was quietly building his empire with Crystal, totally forgetting Lily. Lily, on the other hand, thought it was normal for Damian to have girls around him, but still told herself to work harder to keep him. I honestly admired her ability to get cheated on and stay perfectly serene. What surprised me was that Lily still hadn't woken up from her delusion that she could control me. A few days prior, Lily treated her roommates to a meal, but overordered, racking up a $7,800 bill.
One clueless roommate ordered expensive seafood.
Lily was too embarrassed to stop her, but panicked when the bill arrived. A roommate suggested, "Lily, just call Tristan.
Doesn't he always pay for you?" Lily had a lightbulb moment.
Sure, things were rocky, but a few $100 wouldn't be a big deal to me.
She grew confident, thinking this was the perfect excuse for me to apologize.
She texted, "Tristan, I treated my roommates, but didn't bring enough money.
Can you cover it? It's just a few $100.
I was chilling when I saw it. I stared at the screen.
You treat your friends and don't have money, and that's my problem?
I tossed the phone aside, ignoring her.
Lily went from smug to anxious. Tristan, did you see this? She sent more. No reply. Her roommates didn't help. She finally called, only to hear, "Sorry, the number you have dialed is busy." Lily was stunned.
I blocked her. She had to beg Vanessa for a loan. Vanessa's attitude had changed, but she still lent it.
Leaving the restaurant, Lily complained, "Tristan is so petty. Won't even help with a few $100. Vanessa muttered, "You think he actually likes Scarlet now?" Lily noticed Vanessa acting weird, but just grumbled and dropped it. Next up, buying the Mirage Bar. Located near the university, it wasn't huge, but business was booming. Morgana, the gorgeous owner, drew a crowd.
She had some tough guys backing her, so rarely anyone caused trouble.
In the original story, some drunk outsiders made a mess. Damian stepped in, punched them out, and Morgana was smitten.
But to Damian, she was just another notch on his belt, fading from the story soon after. Morgana ended up renting the bar to him, letting him make a fortune.
I was here to kill that storyline.
Without his system's predetermined path, Damian was going to struggle. Walking into the Mirage Bar, I immediately spotted the woman with wavy black hair at the counter.
She dressed hot, drawing countless stares.
"Used to it," she said coldly without looking up.
"Welcome."
When she finally looked up and saw me, she frowned.
I looked familiar. A bartender whispered, "Boss Morgana, I think that's the rich kid, Tristan Locke." Morgana remembered.
She had heard of me, the stubborn rich kid who simped for a girl for years. Being a self-made woman who worked her way up from waitressing since her teens, she despised spoiled brats who relied on their parents. She assumed I was a playboy treating women like toys. She even felt a bit bad for Lily, assuming I'd just use her and dump her. She figured I had endless women, much like Vanessa used to think. Neither of them realized that in the original novel, Damian was the actual human bulldozer, conquering every girl in sight.
That's exactly why I couldn't be bothered with these brain-damaged female leads.
I smiled at her.
"One cocktail, please."
Morgana replied coldly, "Sorry, we're out."
"Okay, a cold beer, then." Still not looking at me. "Out of that, too." I raised an eyebrow. "Then what do you have?" "Tap water." "You want some?" I was speechless. Going to a bar and being offered tap water? "What's your problem?" I asked. "Did I offend you somehow?" Morgana finally looked up, sneering. "Does a rich heir like you really need to drink at my tiny bar?" "Spit it out." "What do you want?"
She had an empty bottle ready to smash over my head if I said anything out of line. She didn't care about the Locke family.
She wasn't easily bullied.
Any man who hit on her usually met a tragic end.
I stayed completely calm. "I actually think drinking here is great. The decor is nice. It's quiet, just my style. Heard the boss makes killer cocktails, so I wanted to try. But if you have nothing, I'll leave. Morgana froze. Wait, this rich kid isn't here to harass me? She realized I came alone, not exactly the setup for causing trouble. Suddenly, she felt like she was being totally unreasonable. Flustered, she stammered, "Wait, you really just came for a drink?" Her icy exterior melted, revealing a flustered, slightly embarrassed side. I held back a laugh. Obviously. Who goes to a bar for tap water? Morgana caught the tease, but didn't get mad. She smiled awkwardly. "Oh, sorry. My mistake. Young Master Locke, right? Please, sit. I'll mix a cocktail for you myself. Don't take it personally." She suddenly felt I was different from the scummy rich kids she'd met. She eagerly seated me. I looked around. Many people had recognized me. Soon, Morgana slid a pale blue cocktail toward me. I took a sip. Delicious. The boss's skills are top-notch. Morgana felt a surge of pride. He really did just come to drink. Her impression of me quietly shifted. Even though I was marked as the villain, she wasn't about to fall in love instantly. Suddenly, the bar doors were kicked open. A group of drunk, rowdy men stumbled in. A guy with a blonde mohawk yelled, "Boss lady, get us cold beers." Morgana frowned. She didn't hate customers, but drunks were trouble. She turned to get the beers, but Mohawk suddenly grabbed her wrist. "Damn, your hands are soft. Come party with me tonight, gorgeous. I got cash." Morgana snatched her hand back, furious. But before she could explode, I grabbed a beer bottle, walked over, and smashed it directly over Mohawk's head. Crash! The crowd, originally just watching the drama, looked on with wicked satisfaction. They weren't worried about me. They pitied the thugs. These idiots really messed with Tristan Locke. They are so dead. The whole bar whispered, assuming I did it to protect Morgana. Morgana thought the same. Since I hadn't done anything creepy to her, she didn't believe I was just there for a drink anymore. Seeing me teach these punks a lesson for her, the way she looked at me changed. She wanted to see how I'd handle it. Bruno and Tyson immediately rushed in, unleashing a flurry of punches that left the thugs bruised and battered. I ordered coldly, "Throw them far away. Don't let them ruin the boss's business." I knew if Damian was here, Morgana would have said, "Thank you, little brother. I don't know how to repay you." Damian would play the gentleman, ask for a drink, and Morgana would be hooked, inviting him to a dark corner booth. In the novel, she even took off her heels and played footsie with him under the table. Right now, Morgana bit her red lips and said softly, "Thank you, young Master Locke. Drinks are on me tonight to show my gratitude." Knowing this was the perfect opening for business, I replied, "No need for the free drinks. I'm actually here to discuss a business deal with you." Morgana's smile vanished. She knew I wasn't simple. Her guard went up instantly. "A deal? What kind of deal?" I didn't beat around the bush. "I want to buy this bar." "What do you say?" Morgana was stunned. She loved her bar, but she loved money more. If she got a massive payout, she could retire peacefully. Years of running the bar had exhausted her, but nobody had ever offered to buy the bar. They usually tried to buy her. "Oh, really?" she asked cautiously. "How much is young Master Locke offering?" If I lowballed her, she'd flip the table. My next words blew her mind. 10 million. Those two words left Morgana speechless. The hostility in her eyes evaporated, by intense friendliness. She never expected the heavens to drop a massive pie right into her lap. 10 million was astronomically higher than the bar's actual value. If this went through, she'd be a multi-millionaire overnight. Plus, I had just helped her without demanding anything. She was already grateful. Now I was giving her the deal of a lifetime. But Morgana wasn't completely blinded by greed. She reeled in her smile. 10 million? Are you joking? This bar isn't worth anywhere near that. You definitely have other conditions, right? I nodded seriously. Yes, I do have one other condition. Morgana instantly thought, aha, I knew it. He wants me, doesn't he? Good thing she didn't say it out loud, or I would have just walked out. What condition? She asked. I kept a straight face. The condition is,
for 1 full year after this transaction.
Only you are allowed to use this money. You cannot lend it out or invest it.
Deal? Morgana stared at me, bewildered. She was overjoyed.
That's it? I nodded.
This completely severed Damian's route to making money off this bar.
The chances of him finding
another bar were basically zero, since the system specifically pointed him here.
Let's sign the contract. I snapped my fingers. Bruno and Tyson walked in, handing Morgana the papers. She read through them in disbelief.
The only weird clause was the no lending investing rule.
Morgana was single and barely had enough money to spend on herself anyway. She wasn't going to lend it out.
After a year, the money was fully hers. If she breached the contract, she'd have to pay me 5x back.
Morgana signed it immediately. I smiled, satisfied.
Pleasure doing business with you, Ms. Morgana.
The funds will be transferred soon. Please arrange the handover of the bar. Morgana looked at me with deep emotion.
She realized I wasn't repulsive at all. She even felt a flutter in her chest. As I turned to leave, she suddenly blurted out,
"Young Master Locke, if you don't mind, let's grab a drink over in the corner booth."
Her invitation was crystal clear. In the original story, that dark corner was where she and Damian sparked their romance. She was highly confident in her allure. Very few men could resist a mature, beautiful woman like her.
But I replied, "No, thanks, Ms. Morgana.
I have places to be."
Morgana froze, completely stunned by the rejection. She stood completely still until I walked out the door without looking back.
She felt a flash of anger. What is with this guy?
Am I completely unattractive to him?
She remembered how defensive she was when I first walked in, assuming I was a creep. Turns out, I had absolutely zero interest in her. The embarrassment stung, and her eyes got a little red. It was the first time she had been so blatantly ignored. She swore to herself she'd win back her pride. As for me, I left the bar totally chill, not giving Morgana a second thought. Buying the bar was just one step in suppressing the protagonist.
There was a lot more to do. Damian's system was wildly overpowered. Giving him endless opportunities meant he only needed to succeed once to become a tycoon. My next target, Crystal Snow.
I knew she and Damian were currently developing the indie game that would make him a fortune. I couldn't let him have that either.
Damian wasn't backing down.
As the protagonist, he was plotting his epic comeback. "Tristan, just wait," he muttered with determination.
"I will surpass you soon."
His system quickly issued a new quest related to the Mirage bar I had just bought. Damian grinned, knowing the system made success a guarantee.
"I have a cheat code. How can you fight me?" After dropping Crystal home, he texted Lily. "Lily, what are you up to? I miss you."
Lily smiled when she saw it, but as she started typing, she remembered the photo Vanessa sent, Damian strolling with another girl. She had told Vanessa it was fine, but reality was hitting her hard. He was just acting all cozy with someone else, and now he says he misses me.
Is this the Damian I know? Why do I even like a guy like this?
She felt a wave of disgust, realizing she shouldn't degrade herself. She closed her phone, refusing to reply. Instead, she thought of me. She felt a pang of regret.
Why did I reject Tristan? I could be sitting in a Rolls-Royce, living the dream.
But instead, I'm sweating over street food with Damian. Even if Damian got rich, he'd be surrounded by women.
Why fight for a spot in a harem? Damian wasn't bothered by Lily's silence.
He just wanted to finish the system quests with Crystal and head to the Mirage bar.
Meanwhile, news of me buying the Mirage bar for 10 million spread across campus. People who were there recognized me.
The juicy detail that I rejected a drink from the sexy owner reached Scarlet's ears.
She walked up to me, smiling.
"Tristan, I heard you turned down a drink from a super hot bar owner." I kept a straight face.
"Yeah, what about it, Scarlet?"
Scarlet acted nonchalant.
"Nothing much," but inside, she was doing cartwheels.
I chuckled.
"Why? Do you want to buy me a drink?"
Scarlet blushed.
"Can I?" I played along.
"Of course.
Tonight, it's my treat. Let's celebrate the new bar."
Scarlet instantly perked up.
"What do you mean your treat? You're my underling.
The boss pays.
Tell me what you want to eat. It's on me."
I sighed, shifting gears. "Sister Scarlet, the 10 million for the bar was your money.
Let me treat you just this once.
Scarlet crossed her arms, feigning anger.
No way. I'm here. You're not paying a dime. I'm the big sister. Are you implying I can't afford it? Her fake pout was incredibly cute.
I couldn't help but stare, noticing her cheeks flush.
I laughed, giving in. All right. I'll listen to you, Sister Scarlet.
Scarlet flashed a brilliant smile and suddenly reached out to ruffle my hair.
Good boy. Just follow me. I won't let you suffer. She looked overjoyed.
It felt like we had leveled up our relationship.
Back to Lily. She was an emotional wreck.
She remembered everything I did for her and wondered what I was doing right now. When she heard I bought the Mirage bar for 10 million, she was shocked.
Could it be he did it for me?
Because everything I used to do revolved around her, she eagerly anticipated my next grand gesture. She refused to believe I was really over her, assuming Scarlet and I were just putting on a show. She was drowning in regret, suddenly realizing I was a total catch.
Rich, handsome, and devoted.
Any other girl would have locked me down ages ago. At the Mirage bar, Morgana was still stewing over my rejection. Standing in front of a mirror, she questioned her own appeal. Despite being 30, she was stunning.
This only made her more curious about me.
She concluded I must be a pure rich kid, uncorrupted by typical playboy habits. A few days later, Damian finished his tasks and headed to the Mirage bar to do his system quest. On the way, he heard I dropped 10 million on the place.
He couldn't believe it.
He must have been seduced by the boss. He assumed I wouldn't waste money for nothing. Since he held a massive grudge against me, he walked into the bar determined to save Morgana from my clutches. Seeing Morgana, Damian's eyes lit up.
The system knows how to pick 'em.
He flashed his trademark protagonist smile.
One cocktail, please. Normally, this smile worked wonders. But Morgana barely glanced at him.
She mixed the drink and said flatly,
"That'll be $35. Thanks." She felt absolutely zero emotion. Her mind was completely occupied with figuring me out. Damian was stunned. Wait, shouldn't this be easier with the system?
Not giving up, he sat down.
Aren't you going to offer me a drink on the house, gorgeous? Morgana instantly snapped. Offer you a drink? Are you crazy? Do I know you? Pay for your drink or get out. Damian was bewildered.
This wasn't how it worked with Crystal, Lily, or Vanessa.
Why was Morgana so hostile?
Assuming she was still the owner, he thought I hadn't fully acquired the bar yet. He assumed my 10 million offer included buying Morgana herself, which she obviously rejected.
Damian decided to bust out his ultimate move.
30,000 a month to rent the place.
He smiled brightly.
Wait, beautiful.
Hear me out.
You'll want to buy me that drink once I'm done.
Morgana lost whatever patience she had left. She glared at him. Did you hear me? Get the hell out, or I'm calling security.
She had no time for a guy who couldn't even afford a $35 cocktail trying to hustle her.
Damian panicked and dropped the act.
Look, I have a business proposal. Rent me the bar for a month, and I guarantee I'll double your profits.
He was confident she couldn't resist. But Morgana just thought he was mentally ill. Rent her bar to a total stranger?
She flagged down her bouncers.
2 massive guys approached to drag Damian out. Hey, what are you doing? Damian yelled. Don't you trust me?
I promise I'll. Damian struggled, managing to knock back the 2 bouncers. He straightened his jacket, thinking he looked pretty badass.
But Morgana just viewed him as a public nuisance. Right at that moment, she spotted me walking in.
Young Master Locke, she called out, surprised.
Are you here to take over the bar?
The bar was technically already mine, but she wanted to stay and run it for a bit longer. Damian whipped around, his eyes shooting daggers at me. He was convinced I was threatening her. As a righteous protagonist, he decided to enact justice.
He lunged at me, aiming a kick. Before his foot even got close, Tyson intercepted and launched him backward. I calmly looked at Damian on the floor, then asked Morgana, "So, boss, feeling a bit attached to the place?" Before she could answer, Damian scrambled up and charged me again. I stood perfectly still watching him faceplant. I didn't even flinch. I turned back to Morgana. Well, do you miss it? Morgana smiled warmly. Of course, you paid a premium. I am completely on board. Thank you so much. You're literally my savior. Her respectful attitude left Damian absolutely flabbergasted. He almost coughed up blood. What? Isn't Morgana supposed to be part of my harem? System, what's going on? Am I getting cocked? Heartbroken, Damian glared at me chatting happily with Morgana. Unable to take it, he yelled, Morgana, don't be afraid. I'll protect you. Morgana looked at him like he had two heads. Afraid? Why would I be afraid of young Master Locke? Damian ignored her and glared at me. Tristan, if you have a problem, come at me. Leave Morgana alone. He felt incredibly heroic, but to Morgana, he just looked like an absolute clown. Are you not being blackmailed by him? Damian asked, shocked. Morgana looked at him with pure disdain. Blackmail? He just gave me 10 million for the bar. I can't thank him enough. You're the one causing trouble. She turned to me, voice softening. Young Master Locke, do you know this guy? I replied lazily. Yeah, goes to my school. We've got some beef. Damian realized the situation was going south and prepared to bolt. But right then, a girl with long black hair walked in. It was Lily Vance. Everyone froze. She was clearly there to see what the deal was with the bar, secretly hoping I had prepared a romantic surprise for her. She was stunned to see me and Damian in the same room. I felt nothing, but Damian was overjoyed thinking Lily was his backup. He walked toward her, reaching for her hand while glaring at me to provoke me. But Lily smoothly dodged his hand. Damian froze, his face a mask of utter confusion. Lily, what's wrong? She replied coldly, we aren't that close, Damian. That sentence struck Damian like lightning. He turned to stone. Watching this play out, I chuckled and said to Morgana, Miss Morgana, if you want to keep running the place, go ahead. I'll pay you a salary. Hearing this, Lily was stunned and her face fell with disappointment. Suddenly, the unexpected happened. Lily stepped forward and reached out to hold my hand, but I smoothly dodged her, too. Just then, a fiery red supercar roared up to the entrance. A redhead with an aura of absolute dominance stepped out, leaving everyone in awe. Tristan is on another level, another top-tier beauty. I saw Scarlet and smiled. This was the ultimate slap in the face for Damian. All his hopes were crushed. The scene was straight out of a sitcom. Damian tried to hold Lily's hand and got dodged. Lily tried to hold my hand and got dodged. Then Scarlet showed up. Damian stared at Scarlet, drooling slightly. Despite the flash car, she was just as stunning as Lily and Crystal. Lily, furious at seeing me with yet another gorgeous girls, yelled, Tristan, you say you like me, but you're flirting with other girls. You're disgusting. Damian, fueled by jealousy and his hero complex, decided to try his luck again. He approached Scarlet with his signature smile. Hello, I'm Damian Stone. Can I get to know you? Bam! Before he could finish, Bruno rushed forward and punched Damian into next week. I gave the signal and Bruno and Tyson proceeded to beat him to a pulp until he couldn't even twitch. Scarlet looked at Damian with pure disgust. You're polluting his bar. I was furious, too. This Gary Stu had the audacity to hit on Scarlet right in front of me. Lily, watching the whole thing, lost her mind. This guy just tried to hold my hand and now he's hitting on another girl right in front of me? Absolutely vile. She finally saw Damian for what he was and couldn't believe she had ever simped for a guy like that. Morgana watched the beatdown and severely downgraded her opinion of Damian. Where does his overconfidence even come from? She lost all interest in him, regardless of his potential. Damian tried to hype himself up. I have a system. I'm supposed to save beauties from villains. He genuinely believed he was the good guy. I just wanted to make sure Scarlet didn't get scammed. Both Lily and Morgana completely cut Damian off in their minds. But seeing me leave hand in hand with Scarlet, both women felt a complex mix of emotions. Does Tristan actually love Scarlet? Lily wondered bitterly. That redhead gets way more attention from him than I do. Morgana thought with a sigh. Damian, seeing an opening, tried to launch a surprise spinning kick to clear the crowd. He jumped up but landed looking like a messy, bruised disaster. He told himself these trials were just the heavens testing him, swearing to fight me to the end. But my complete apathy toward him drove him insane. He was coughing up metaphorical blood. Morgana shouted, "Throw this trash out." What a mess. She was utterly disgusted. Damian had completely lost face in whatever was left of his protagonist aura.
The next day, the incident at the Mirage Bar was the hottest gossip on campus.
Everyone knew Damian from the software department got brutally beaten by my guys. This made my reputation tank even further,
especially with Crystal Snow and Ariel Fisher, two of Damian's future harem members. They had a huge crush on Damian
and thought only he was worthy of them. To them, I was just a disgusting rich villain who used money to buy women. So shallow. Both Crystal and Ariel were furious about the beatdown.
They visited him in the hospital and vowed to make me pay. Crystal, the white-haired Lolitech genius, was currently helping Damian code his game. She was a bit arrogant but acted like a docile kitten around him. Ariel Fisher was a girl Damian had helped start a craft shop. Thanks to his brilliant system-fed ideas, her shop was booming. She was a rare tomboy goddess in the architecture department, known for her fiery temper.
In the hospital, Damian looked pathetic, but his two lackeys, Chad and Kyle, rushed in.
Chad was a coward, but Kyle was demanding blood.
Damian told them to chill. He had a plan.
He decided to pivot and focus on Crystal, Ariel, and his other system roots to secure his comeback.
Damian fully believed he was the chosen Long Ocean OP protagonist.
He thought I was just some local rich kid, completely ignorant of the fact that the world was full of massive hidden aristocratic families. Scarlet, for instance, was the heiress to a terrifyingly powerful dynasty, but she kept a low profile.
This was going to bite Damian hard.
Laying in his hospital bed surrounded by gorgeous girls, Damian finally felt like a true protagonist again. Crystal fretted over his injuries and cursed my name. Ariel scoffed at me placing all her trust in Damian. Surrounded by their affection, his mood stabilized. His lackeys were even more in awe of his riz, thinking it was totally normal for him to juggle multiple women.
Meanwhile, Lily was spiraling.
She went to the bar hoping for romance, only to be dodged when she tried to hold my hand. She began to seriously doubt if I was truly over her.
Morgana continued running the bar for me.
Even though she could leave, she stayed hoping to see me again and figure out my relationship with the redhead. The next day, I took Scarlet to Angel's Net, the most luxurious internet cafe in the city.
Sitting down, I was slightly thrown off.
The games here were completely different from my old world. Playing a PC game suddenly made me nostalgic, but it also cemented how much potential I had here.
Hey Tristan, let's play Divine Gunner today. I'm a pro at this.
Scarlet cheered enthusiastically. I was surprised. I knew she was a closet gamer, but her hype was next level.
Mostly, she was just happy to be gaming with me.
The game was basically a stripped-down version of CSGO.
I adapted instantly.
I was landing headshots left and right, leaving Scarlet in awe. She was the type of player who lacked skill but loved bossing people around, screaming for me to carry her.
We played until 9 p.m. Scarlet was buzzing with adrenaline, talking nonstop on the ride home.
Suddenly, I asked, "Scarlet, your birthday's coming up, right?" She blushed fiercely, clearly caught off guard.
She tried to act cool. "Yeah, in about half a month."
"Why?" But her eyes sparkled with joy.
"I just wanted to confirm the timeline. Just checking."
I smiled, secretly plotting a massive surprise for her. A girl this awesome deserved the best. Back home, Scarlet flopped onto her bed giddy with excitement.
After 3 years of secret pining, she finally saw a sliver of hope.
But her phone buzzed.
A text from Marcus. "Hey Scarlet, birthday's coming up. I'm flying to Cloud City to see you. Be a good girl and wait for me. Don't be shy, I'm your future boyfriend. We'll have lots of fun.
Wear those black stockings I like."
Scarlet's face went ice cold.
"Screw off." She tossed the phone away. Even though the Sterling family was stronger than Marcus's family, they needed some resources from them, so she couldn't completely burn the bridge. The text ruined her mood, but seeing my name pinned at the top of her chat list brought her smile back. She decided to deal with Marcus when the time came.
I actually knew about Marcus.
In the original plot, he showed up at her birthday to cause a minor scene.
To me, he was a total non-threat, just a stepping stone for my grand plan. But I had forgotten something important. Lily Vance had signed a 3-year unconditional contract with me.
I needed her to work as a promoter for the bar. Sitting on the couch, my mind drifted to another one of Damian's girls, Chloe.
She lived in my neighborhood.
In the novel, she helped Damian rise up, but I couldn't understand how a mega-rich heiress like her was won over by a literal street pancake. Meanwhile, Lily was sitting on her bed replaying the moment I dodged her hand. She felt so wronged. Does he really not like me anymore? Suddenly, her phone lit up. A text from me. Her face instantly glowed. Lily, are you free right now? I need to see you for some business. Her eyes sparkled. He needs to see me. He definitely wants to apologize or ask to get back together. I knew it. He couldn't just give up on me. She considered ignoring me to punish me, but panicked, fearing I might actually walk away for good if she pushed too hard. She quickly replied, "Of course I'm free, Tristan. Come over. I'll wait downstairs." Sending the text, she cheered internally. Yes, Tristan is finally coming back to me. I have to cherish him this time. She grabbed her makeup bag, determined to look flawless. Even if it was just outside her dorm, she wanted to look perfect. She even dug out her black fishnet stockings. Seeing her suddenly so energetic, her roommates were curious. Lily, are you going to visit Damian? Wearing black stockings, too? Lily instantly snapped back, Damian? Don't mention his name. We have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Thinking of Damian made her sick. She heard he was in the hospital being visited by a bunch of girls from other departments. Are they blind? He's a two-timing jerk. She was finally awake. Whoever wanted him could have him. She wasn't wearing a green hat for anyone. She finished her makeup and sprinted downstairs. Seeing her, I was mildly impressed. I had to admit, Lily was top tier. Long black hair, flawless figure, and her long legs clad in black stockings paired with black ballet flats, a crisp white blouse, and a dark blue pleated skirt. She looked like the ultimate innocent yet seductive campus goddess. Before I could speak, she took a deep breath, tucked her hair behind her ear, and blushed. Tristan, you came to see me? I replied calmly, I have a favor to ask you. Lily was secretly thrilled. What is it? I kept it strictly business. You know, I just bought a bar, but business could be better. I want you to help promote it. She froze. Me? Promote it? I don't know how. I pulled out a simple poster mock-up. It's easy. Just dress up a bit like this and stand at the entrance. I'll have a sign made with a picture of you on a poster. You just need to occasionally show up and have a drink with the customers. Don't worry, it's totally legit. Hearing this, Lily was stunned. Her face flushed, but this time with pure anger. Tristan, you want me to dress like that? The poster showed her in a sexy Playboy bunny outfit. Even though she liked looking pretty and occasionally dressed a bit sexy, she couldn't accept this. Standing at a bar door to lure customers? What did he take her for? She suddenly thought this was my twisted way of getting revenge because I couldn't have her. I wanted to humiliate her. She thought of Damian. He would never make her do this. Little did she know, in the original plot, Damian made her wear all sorts of outfits and she did it willingly because she loved him. But right now she flat out refused. Sorry Tristan, I can't do this. It's too much. The tiny bit of goodwill she had rebuilt for me vanished. I made my objective clear. Don't worry, you won't be doing it for free. I'll pay you a salary. We'll sign a contract. It's up to you. Hearing the word salary, her eyes lit up. Ever since I cut off her funding, her life had nosedived. She wanted to run for class president but lacked the funds to bribe people. From eating premium seafood, she was down to cheap cafeteria meals. As a foodie, she was going crazy. How much are you going to pay me? She asked eagerly, terrified I'd change my mind. She realized how good she had it when I used to drop hundreds of thousands on her. Now she understood how hard it was to make money. But my next sentence stunned her. 8,000 base salary plus commissions. How does that sound? I said calmly. Her smile widened, but inside she was screaming. What? 8,000? Is Tristan doing this to humiliate me on purpose? Does he think I'm only worth 8,000? She remembered the tens of thousands I used to spend on a single designer bag for her. Now, I was giving Scarlet a supercar, but only offering her a measly 8,000 a month. Tristan, isn't 8,000 plus commission a bit low? Can you do 20,000? She asked, gathering all her courage. She thought 20,000 was the bare minimum.
8,000 wouldn't even buy her half a luxury bag.
My response pushed her deeper into despair.
Lily, 8,000 base plus commission is not low.
Every time you have a drink with a customer, I'll pay you an extra 1,000. The contract only requires you to show up at least 4 times a month, so the absolute minimum you'll make is 12,000. I sounded completely genuine, but it only made her want to cry more. I used to lend her 100 grand without blinking.
Now I was haggling over thousands. The contrast was unbearable, but she didn't dare get mad.
She knew if she threw a tantrum, I'd cut her out of my life completely.
Can I think about it?
She asked softly.
Of course, I replied casually. Text me when you decide. My absolute indifference broke her heart. From a potential billionaire's wife, she was reduced to an 8,000 a month employee.
She felt so pathetic. Full of grievance, she went back to her dorm. Unable to hold it in, she complained to her roommates. To her shock, her roommates' eyes lit up like lasers.
Are you serious, Lily? Young Master Locke is offering 8,000 base salary just to dress up and promote. Ask him if he's hiring more. I want in.
A cute short-haired girl yelled excitedly.
Add me to the 8,000 base plus commission list. Another chimed in. That's amazing, Lily.
You're only a freshman and you found a job paying over 10K.
My brother graduated 3 years ago and only makes 6,000.
Yeah, said another.
My sister has been working for 7 years and just hit 8,000.
Once you're in the real world, you realize how hard it is to make money. Lily, who had intended to vent, was met with pure envy. She was left with a giant question mark over her head.
Wait, is 8,000 base salary actually a lot?
Having never worked a day in her life, she had no concept of money's value. But after 3 years of me spoiling her with luxury meals and 50K bags, her reality was warped. Now that she lost her VIP ATM, she was finally seeing the real world.
This actually balanced out her feelings.
She realized I wasn't treating her terribly.
8,000 was good.
Plus, working under Tristan meant more contact.
Who knows? Maybe she could win me back. Feeling optimistic, she texted, "Okay, I agree. Let's sign the contract." I received the text and didn't feel much. It saved me the hassle of finding someone else.
But the news that Lily Vance was going to work at the Mirage Bar in a bunny suit quickly reached Damian's ears.
He went absolutely ballistic. What? Lily is working at Tristan's bar in a bunny suit? No, absolutely not. Tristan, you're dead meat. Damian was furious.
To him, Lily wearing a bunny suit for other men was no different than giving him a massive green hat. He was convinced I was using dirty tricks or blackmail to force her into this. He felt a burning need to play the savior. Despite his unhealed wounds, Damian forcibly discharged himself from the hospital. Meanwhile, after finalizing things with Lily and checking in with Scarlet, I began plotting against another female lead, Veronica Frost.
She was a young CEO and one of the board members of the university.
In the original plot, her car gets a flat tire and Damian conveniently passes by and fixes it for her, making her make it to her meeting on time. It was a classic system-generated encounter. Veronica is impressed and later, when they meet on campus, she nods at him, shocking his lackeys.
Damian plays dumb. Is she famous? Lackey, she's a mega-rich CEO and board member.
Damian, oh, I just helped her fix a tire.
This boosted Damian's ego to the moon.
Eventually, he conquers the ice-cold CEO, turning her into a thirsty member of his harem who despises me for relying on my family's wealth. But I had a counter-strategy. Veronica might be a powerful CEO, but she absolutely idolized Vivian Locke, my older sister, a legendary figure in her industry. In the original story, Veronica didn't find out Vivian was my sister until much later. This time, I was going to use that card early. The next day, I drove the supercar to the girls' dorm to officially sign the contract with Lily.
Lily came down, dressed elegantly.
No black stockings this time, but her long, pale legs were captivating enough. When she saw me roll up in the supercar, her heart raced. She missed riding in it so much.
Remembering the envious stares from before, she realized how stupid she had been to choose Damian's bicycle over my Rolls-Royce.
The supercar stopped in front of her. Lily stood there, gripping her small purse, looking like a dream.
Passing students stared, mesmerized. Whoa, isn't that young Master Locke and the campus goddess, Lily Vance? Are they finally together?
Man, just holding her hand would be worth bragging about for a year.
Hearing the whispers, Lily hoped I would open the door and invite her in.
Instead, I just handed her a contract through the window.
Read this. If there are no issues, sign it. Her face fell.
She was still in denial, hoping I'd take her on a date after she signed. She reluctantly took it, skimmed it, and signed it obediently.
Great, I said. Start work tomorrow, I already told the boss. Make sure you change into the uniform.
Oh, and the photographer I hired is a woman, so don't worry about any creeps.
Lily froze. A female photographer? Tristan, that's so thoughtful. But then she blurted out, wait, Tristan, don't you want to see me in the bunny suit?
The moment she said it, she wanted to die.
What am I saying? Where's my pride?
Her face burned scarlet. She had never acted this desperate with Damian.
But seeing her flustered, I felt absolutely nothing. Not really. What's there to see?
That answer struck her like lightning. She doubted her own attractiveness.
Am I really that unappealing to him? She wanted to cry. I was about to drive off when she panicked and called out, wait, Tristan, aren't you going to take me out to eat?
I looked at her, baffled.
Why would I do that? Lily stammered. Then why did you drive the supercar here? I replied flatly.
Oh, I'm picking Scarlet up right after this.
We're getting dinner. Need something else?
Lily froze, taking psychic damage of massive proportions. Her emotions broke, tears pooling in her eyes.
You're really taking Scarlet to dinner?
Her voice cracked.
Yeah, why would I lie? I answered calmly. I felt zero pity. I'm crying right in front of you and you're not even going to comfort me.
She swore to herself that if I just said one nice thing, she'd throw herself into my arms.
But I remained completely indifferent.
You crying has literally nothing to do with me.
My absolute coldness snapped her back to reality.
She brought this upon herself by treating me like garbage before. Demanding I comfort her now was delusional. She tried to compose herself and say goodbye, but a voice suddenly interrupted. Tristan, stay the hell away from my sweet Lily. I turned to see Damian limping aggressively toward us, bandaged up like a mummy, looking utterly ridiculous.
The crowd immediately turned their attention to the drama.
Lily felt nothing but disgust seeing Damian, especially when he called her his sweet Lily.
Who is your sweet Lily?
So gross. She hadn't spoken to him in days, yet he still acted like he owned her. She was speechless at his sheer audacity, especially since he was simultaneously dating other girls.
Does he have no shame?
But Damian, living in his own protagonist bubble, firmly believed I was forcing Lily into this.
Tristan, I know you're using dirty tricks to force Lily to work for you. And in a bunny suit? Keep dreaming. You think my Lily is that kind of girl? I won't let you get away with this. Don't think your family's money scares me.
30 years east, 30 years west, I will make you regret this.
I sighed. Is that so?
Too bad Lily just signed a legally binding contract. If she breaches it, she owes me triple her salary.
That's $24,000. Damian paused, doing the math. Wait, 24 grand? That's not that much.
But he still didn't have the cash to save her.
He gritted his teeth.
Fine, I'll pay her 24 grand penalty.
I couldn't care less.
Whatever.
I can just hire someone else. With my money, finding a dozen pretty girls is a Tuesday. Damian thought he was being an absolute gigachad.
He looked at Lily tenderly, completely forgetting she had dodged his hand.
I smiled.
Just remember to wire me the penalty, plus the 100 grand you already owe me. The clock is ticking, Damian.
Damian ground his teeth.
Don't worry, I won't short you a single penny. He believed this was just another trial for a system user.
I looked at Lily. All right, Lily, our contract is terminated. But unexpectedly, she shrieked. Terminated? Who said I wanted to terminate? I signed it. You're not ditching me. I'm working for you. I blinked, genuinely surprised. Damian looked like his brain had blue-screened.
Lily, what did you just say? He couldn't fathom that she wanted to work for me. He was certain I had blackmailed her, but seeing me casually agree to let her go destroyed his theory. He turned to me, furious. I said I'd pay.
Why are you still harassing her?
I stared at him.
Harassing her?
Ask her if I'm harassing her.
I seriously need to call the cops on you lunatics. Dealing with these NPCs was exhausting. Harassing her? Ask her, I repeated, mocking him. Damian couldn't handle the fact that a villain like me was acting more reasonable than him, the chosen one. Lily was sick of Damian's lectures, too.
Even though she wasn't madly in love with me yet, I was light years better than Damian. I was polite, gave her a job, and even hired a female photographer. Damian, on the other hand, called her my Lily while actively dating someone else and tried to grab her in public. She looked at Damian with pure ice in her eyes.
Damian, what exactly are you?
Even if you become a billionaire one day, the way you juggle multiple women makes me sick.
I'd rather have nothing to do with you.
She turned and walked toward the passenger side of my car intending to get in.
Damian watched, devastated.
He imagined me giving him a smug villainous smirk as I put my arm around Lily's bare shoulders with her not resisting at all.
For a harem-seeking protagonist, this was the ultimate nightmare.
He clenched his fists and raged that his first conquest was failing so miserably. But what shocked him even more was when Lily reached for the door handle.
I locked it. What are you doing? I asked.
Lily looked pitiful. Tristan, I just wanted a ride to the bar.
Is that not allowed?
I put the car in gear. The passenger seat is exclusively for Scarlet. That sentence was like shoving a bowl of dog food down her throat. Her regret amplified 1,000 times.
Damian was equally stunned. What? Tristan won't let her in the car? He couldn't process it. Does Tristan really have no ulterior motives? No blackmail? Nothing? Damian's mind broke. Lily is so beautiful.
He chased her for 3 years.
How can he just let go? But Damian quickly spun it into a positive. Good. If Tristan doesn't want her, I'll win her back.
He regained his confidence and said respectfully, Lily, don't worry.
With me around, no one will bully you. Follow me and I'll protect you for life. Lily was absolutely speechless. Is he brain damaged?
At this point, uttering those cheesy lines was just pathetic. She replied coldly, no, thanks.
I don't need your protection.
Even if Tristan won't let me in his car, I'm still not going anywhere with you.
Please stay away from me.
Her brutal rejection hit Damian like a truck. The world turned gray. He stood frozen, unable to understand what he did wrong.
Why is she pushing me away?
The system was entirely useless here.
Suddenly, a loud energetic voice echoed. Damian, what's wrong? Damian looked up and instantly smiled.
It was Ariel Fisher, another female lead. She had long silky black hair, pale skin, and rocked a JK skirt with
long black socks.
Unlike Lily's pure vibe, Ariel was a fiery tomboy who often forgot she was a girl.
She was gorgeous but loud, shattering any illusion of being a delicate goddess.
Still, her tough girl energy had plenty of admirers. In the novel, Damian called her bro to get close, eventually winning her over. He helped her open a booming craft shop after she was bullied by another rich kid. He used his system to clear the hurdles. And when people asked whose shop it was, he proudly declared it was Ariel's. Naturally, I had already planned to ruin this plotline, too. But her sudden appearance was a surprise.
Lily frowned, smelling a turf war. Another beautiful girl clearly siding with Damian. Damian was thrilled.
He was making great progress with Ariel. She had even visited him in the hospital, and promised to hit me with a hammer if she saw me again.
Ariel, why are you here? Damian smiled warmly. Ariel glared at me with intense hatred. I was just passing by. Is there a problem? Don't worry, Damian. I've got your back.
She spoke softly to him, trying to save his face, but turned her venom on me. She marched up to my car.
You're Tristan Locke, right? I'm warning you, don't think your money lets you do whatever you want. I believe in justice. If you bully Damian again, I, Ariel Fisher, will make you pay.
I raised an eyebrow and smirked.
Oh, really? And if I order my guys to beat him up again right now, what exactly are you going to do?
Ariel shook with rage. I'll call the cops and have you arrested. I shrugged lazily.
Cool. Call them. Let them arrest me. Ariel ground her teeth, thinking I was unbearably arrogant.
Rich kids are all scum. Only Damian is a real man.
If they knew how talented he was, they'd be terrified.
She knew Damian had a creative team thanks to the system and idolized him for it.
Don't get too cocky, she snapped.
I don't care what rich family you're from.
I'm not afraid of you. I chuckled. Don't be so sure, who knows? We might be doing business together soon. Hearing this, Lily panicked. Wait, is Tristan interested in this girl now? She couldn't handle the thought.
She remembered offering to wear the bunny suit for him and getting rejected.
Damian panicked, too. Crap. I can't let Ariel talk to Tristan. He stepped between us.
Ariel, don't waste your breath on this guy.
Don't worry, Tristan. I'll pay that money.
We're done here, Ariel.
Let's go. But Damian overestimated his own riz.
He grabbed Ariel's hand and then reached out his other hand to grab Lily. Lily, come with me, he said softly. Trust me. I'll protect you. I had zero interest in Damian's pathetic attempt at a harem scene.
I just wanted to go eat with Scarlet.
I rolled up the window and stepped on the gas, leaving them in the dust. Ariel stared after my car, unable to believe a rich heir just blatantly rejected a girl as pretty as Lily. She questioned her own eyesight. After I left, Damian smiled brightly.
Lily, don't be mad at me. If I did something wrong, I'm sorry, okay? We used to be so good together.
Even if I haven't made my fortune yet, just stay by my side.
I promise I'll make a ton of money.
He tried to salvage the situation, but Lily only felt violently ill. Holding Ariel's hand with his right, trying to pull her with his left. Unless she was clinically insane, there was no way she was agreeing to be his side piece.
Damian didn't realize that his little stunt also shocked Ariel.
Seeing him invite Lily while holding her hand, Ariel looked down at her hand trapped in his and suddenly felt deeply uncomfortable.
Her mind was a mess. She didn't know what she was doing anymore. Lily didn't even want to waste breath on him.
Speaking to him felt degrading. She turned around and marched into the way.
Lily, where are you going?
Damian called out, his eyes full of reluctance.